Yo, Thought Warriors. What is up? High Learning is on. It's I, Lathan Jr.
And it's me, Rachel and Lindsay.
Rachel, what's up?
You know, just struggling with allergies a little bit.
Super bloom.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, so apparently there's this phenomenon that's happened. It's a super bloom. It's worse than it used to be.
I thought the Santa Ana winds only hit like November, December, January. So whatever is happening now, I mean, I had to peel myself out of the bed this morning. I mean, I've just been, like, I can't stop sneezing. Just took some medicine, so, you know, some Flonase. Let's hope I'm good.
Oh.
But
do you use what? I like nasal sprays now.
it's the best.
I'm into it. What's the Sinex one? The Vicks Sinex one?
Oh, I haven't tried that one.
Yeah, Kalika gave it to me.
I'll try that one next. I'm doing Flonase. I'm never consistent with going to the doctor. I went to get checked on, because remember the hoarseness that was an issue?
Yeah.
So I went to an ENT, and she gave me a great nasal spray, but it's prescription-based. So I got to go back to get some more. So yeah. How are you?
I'm good. You know who's on the nasal sprays like crazy?
I didn't know that was a thing, but okay.
Chris Ryan.
Who?
Chris Ryan. Oh, this beef with Chris Ryan.
Just kidding.
The beef with CR is still up.
Oh, he's on the nasal sprays,
Yeah,
huh?
he's on the nasal sprays. Crazy. I'm good, man. Eventful weekend.
You were out of town.
I was in D.C. I was in D.C. covering the White House Correspondents Dinner live on CNN when all of this stuff went down. Might as well start there.
Were you live?
Live. We were
You know,
live.
I don't like that you don't tell us what you do sometimes.
Why?
Because we would like to support. Believe it or not, fan, we would like to support.
Who gives a shit? Just watch, like, don't spend your Saturday night.
Well, I would just like to, I wouldn't watch the whole thing, but I would just like to check you out. You know what I mean? But live, okay, wow. What a time.
Look, Donnie?
Yeah, let's talk about it. A man with guns and knives stormed the lobby outside the White House Correspondents Dinner, which was attended by President Donald Trump on Saturday night. The president was uninjured and rushed off stage. The armed man, who was later ID'd as Cole Thomas Allen, who officials said was a guest at the Washington Hilton where the dinner was held, was taken into custody and is expected in court today, Monday. Now, Trump that night and allies coalesced around a specific solution around what happened and for presidential security in general.
And we looked at all of the conditions that took place tonight, and I will say, you know, it's not a particularly secure building, and I didn't want to say this, but this is why we have to have all of the attributes of what we're planning at the White House. It's actually a larger room, and it's much more secure. It's drone-proof, it's bulletproof glass. We need the ballroom. That's why Secret Service, that's why the military are demanding it. They've wanted the ballroom for 150 years for lots of different reasons, but today's a little bit different because today...
Cut him off. That's enough. That's enough. He used what happened to, make the case for his ballroom. Everybody knows that by now. Everybody knows that. So we're on live. We had just finished an interview.
Who were you with?
It was me, John, Laura Coates, John Berman, Laura Coates, Scott Jennings, Van Jones, Essie Cup, right?
You were with Van Jones?
Van Jones, Van on the thing.
First time?
No, not the first time.
All right.
A couple of years before this, Van Jones and I had done the White House Correspondents Dinner together. Why? Why is that?
I mean, let's not act like we haven't talked a lot about Van Jones.
I'll give him
on this podcast, and just the fact that you're constantly confused for him for the wrong, like, it's never good. Whenever you are mentioned in the same sentence as Van Jones, it's a mistake, and it's never good for you. It's never positive.
It happened again.
I know.
And this time,
with my sis,
I am
big sis
shocked. I look right into this camera. Yvette Nicole Brown.
Who we love.
How could I'm taken aback. How could you, Yvette Nicole Brown, you do the same thing, treat me the same way that everyone else has? I was surprised at you. By the way, still up.
But did you see what she said?
What did she say?
She said, she added you, and she said, I will take this down, but she thought the call outs towards her were funny. See, I appreciate this.
That's not what
And she said, if you want me to take it down for you, I will. She added you and asked you.
Okay.
I think it is down though, because it said post not available. I think it's down.
So
let's give her
whole Van Lathan, the whole deal. Anyway, I can't believe you, Yvette. I can't just.
It was so funny. I wrote,
respect.
I said, friend, wrong one. It's this one. And I added him because I wanted him to see it.
Do you think that sometimes people do that on purpose to get at me? Okay.
She definitely didn't. They were using the Abbott Elementary thing. I don't know if you've seen it. Where Cheryl Lee Ralph makes a mistake with two different names. But I thought it was funny. I love that she took it with grace and laughed at it too. Like everybody was coming at her. It was really funny, the jokes that they were making. And she was like, look, I'm sorry, my bad. She would never. This
is credit I'll give to both Van Jones and Stephen A. Smith, who I both saw during different times at the weekend, during the weekend, should I say. They seem to, at least, Van Jones and I have had some phone conversations that were a little bit more contentious, but they seem to at least take the criticism of them much better than I would take the criticism if I were them. Like I saw Stephen A. Smith at the UTA party. We went back and forth for a second, and he just apparently lets it roll off his back. I mean, I'm sure there's
you have to.
Some people that bother him a little bit more. He lets it roll off his back. It doesn't seem to affect some of the things that he says, but he lets it roll off his back. So that is true. I've never had a bad interaction in person with Van. As a matter of fact, after all of the stuff, because I left the CNN broadcast. Like I left it. Like
why?
When it turned into a breaking news show, I felt like I needed to leave.
Okay.
Yeah. So like, if we were going to be talking about issues of the day or the dinner itself, things going on with the dinner, that's one thing. But when it started to become a breaking news show,
like a reporting, it was more reporting.
Yeah, and then they're talking about their colleagues who are there at the White House Correspondents Dinner. SE was clearly shaken by what was going on.
Yeah, I saw her response.
Yeah, so like I'm like, yo, I hit production. I was like, I think I should leave. And honestly, it's kind of the same way I felt about the dinner itself, that I was glad they didn't come back. I felt like they should have left, so I left. But yeah, and he, after that happened, reached out, was very, very sweet, asked about me, talked about some of the things I had said before when I said that the country was sick, all of that stuff, how he felt like that was going to resonate with people. But for me to stay there, it would have seemed like performance in lieu of everything that was happening.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. But I do want to note, I mean, it's not surprising that Stephen A. Smith and Van Jones are cordial and polite to you when they see you, because haven't we talked about that, having been in these rooms, that you see people be opinionated on whatever platform they have and hypercritical, and then when they get behind closed doors, they're super chummy. Or they're at these parties and they're super chummy. So I wouldn't expect anything else from them.
I'm not assigning weakness to them, saying, oh, when they keep it. No, I'm saying that.
Oh, I know you're not. I'm just saying.
It doesn't seem to me, from some of the things that we've said, maybe they don't know about them, it doesn't seem to me that they take them personally, which is probably, for better or for worse, why they've been so successful.
Well, I think to do this job, to be in public, having a microphone with opinions, you have to not take everything so personal. You have to let most things roll off your back and only pick your battles when necessary. Otherwise, you can't successfully do this. You'll go insane.
Let me ask you something. Let's go back to what happened that night. Obviously, this is just another symptom of, like I said on CNN, a sickness that the country is infected with right now. It's interesting to watch people respond to this with such panic. It was interesting even in the room in CNN to watch people respond to this with such panic when all of America is dealing with this. If you go to the grocery store, if you go to school, if you go to the movie theater, if you go to a sporting event, wherever you go, the threat of violence, spree violence, targeted violence, terrorism is ever present with you. You send your kids to school. You can't be there with your children. Doesn't matter what type of school, elementary school, middle school, high school, college, wherever. You send them to school. You legitimately give them to the violence that America is infected with right now. You just don't know. And it's now visited not just the president a couple of times before this, but this particular dinner, where the press is, which is another group that's been, the subject of all this scrutiny and really insulting type of rhetoric from Donald Trump. Okay. at first you didn't know whether or not this gunman was targeting Trump or whether or not he was targeting the press. You wouldn't know. You have no clue because the press has been so vilified by the president. This particular incident, do you think this was real? When I say, like, I'm just like whatever to people, but there are a lot of people who think that it's serendipitous, I guess, that whenever Donald Trump seems to need to use violence as a mascot, that violence appears.
So I love that you were in DC because I think it shows two different perspectives of being so close to it. And you were there, to talk about what was happening. Obviously, we didn't know this was going to happen, but you were right there. You were right next to people who either normally attend or know a lot of people that were in the room. So you saw a totally different reaction. If you were sitting at home or you were out and about, you didn't feel that. Most people didn't, which goes to the point of you saying, do I think, well, let me just say, as the days go by, I feel like I'm becoming more of a conspiracy theorist. And that could be for a number of reasons. And particularly with this thing, I think the reason I didn't feel so, I don't know, like connected to what was happening is one, I mean, there's several things, right? We as a country are completely desensitized to gun violence. It just feels like it's only a matter of time before the next thing happens. It almost wasn't shocking that this happened at the White House Correspondents Dinner. And if I felt like that, I would think that security would be heightened in a way to think like something like this could happen because it's the first time that Trump has attended as a sitting president, because there were so many cabinet members and Trump officials there at this dinner than there normally are. Also, it's this hodgepodge of not just journalists, of public figures, entertainment, sports. I mean, it's really a wild thing if you go inside of it. I remember, I've only been once. I just was taken aback about who all is in the room and how, everybody's fanning over each other. It's just a very interesting mix. So you would think with all of that there would be heightened security. But number one, it goes to me being desensitized, I feel like, and as a nation when it comes to gun violence. Second thing is, it also just points to the reaction, I think, of why, again, it wasn't so heightened watching it if you weren't there, is this major distrust from the Trump administration, which leads to believing conspiracy theories. I mean, immediately when this happened, before he even talked, it was, oh, he's doing this because he's polling bad. Oh, this is a distraction from Iran. This is a distraction from Epstein. This is, it feels like, and I guess the third thing would be that this is a pattern. So the Trump administration can use this to talk about political violence and point to this being the Democrats' fault. And it's their dangerous rhetoric and things that they put out there that lead to this. So all these things were happening that are going through your mind. And then President Trump speaks and he says, I wasn't going to say this, but the ballroom. And immediately what you see are all these MAGA influencers getting in a coordinated effort, what it seemed like, of talking about this is why we need the ballroom, when the reality is this isn't a White House event, so that doesn't even make any sense. This isn't something that would be a part of the ballroom. But yeah, I don't want to say that it was staged, but the more I look into it and all the things that are around it, it feels like it was a possibility that maybe they had some kind of information that somebody would do something, and there seemed to be a lack of security, more like Simone Sanders talked about it too when she came up, more than you would normally see at this event. It seemed to be a little bit more lax to maybe allow something like this, if it could happen, and stop it before it became too dangerous, so they could use this to further whatever narrative or project that they wanted to happen. That's what it feels like to me.
Look, I'm here, like you say, well said, I'm here for every conspiracy theory at this point. It is what it is. I think the thing that's not a conspiracy is the epidemic of violence that we're seeing, and people either snapping or thinking that this is a way to achieve something or get something done. in this particular situation, this guy, Cole Thomas Allen, was or Thomas, he was brilliant. He's brilliant, like Caltech, like super. And you'd think that for someone that was seeking to do something that was tactical, that he'd realize that, number one, he wasn't going to be able to get in and kill the president. That room was too secure. They caught him outside of the room.
Mm-hmm.
And number two, that they would use this. Like they would use this. They would use this to say that we need more security. We need what we want. We need the ballroom. We need to clamp down on whatever. They would take this and they would use it politically. But it seems like whoever this was, that he snapped. The people out there that jumped to the fact that this was some kind of staged false flag event, we don't want to do that without having a whole lot of evidence that it is. We want to be careful about that, because then everything will become that. But one thing that is not a staged false flag event is the breathtaking coordination in which the right, particularly the MAGA right, responded to this. Ashley St. Clair collated all of the tweets that said, hey, this is why we need the ballroom. Hey, this is why we need the ballroom. Hey, this is why we need the ballroom. Now, some people are going to look at that and they're going to say, well, they were ready with their talking points because they set this thing up and they knew how they wanted to spin it. Even if that's not true, there seems to be, and I feel like we all know this, a brain trust that tells all these people what to say. There's two ways to look at that. One way to look at that is that's chilling, because you're not getting, first of all, it's not fucking chilling. We all know that, right? We all know that the talking points are going out. Like, we all know that the way that works. But for a lot of people that might not be, might think that every time they engage with someone that they're getting their actual thoughts. Now you can see that there is a set of talking points on the right, and they adhere to these talking points. Okay, cool. The question for you that I have is, people look at that and they go, oh, these people are all bought, they're all together, whatever. Should that exist on the left? Should that exist on the left to where there is this sort of, not on my left, because it never could, because my ideas wouldn't be the ones that people will want to throw out there, but should the center left, which is in the power struggle with the other team, should they have this type of coordination?
No, I just don't. I mean, I'm critical of that. I want to feel like that people have genuine thoughts, that they're authentic in the things that they're saying and they're using their platforms for. And I don't want to get to the point where I'm desensitized about opinions or things that people are saying, period. Right? Like, I saw that, I was like, oh, of course they did that, and I kept it moving. I don't think that that's influential in any way. Maybe to some people, but we can look at it, we can tear it apart and say, like, that is obviously something that was constructed by the right. I don't want to do that. That's not the tit for tat that I want to go to. I want to be strategic, I want to be calculated, and I want it to be efficient and effective in moving things that I would like to see done by the government. That is not the way that I want to do it. That's just me.
And of course, you guys know that I don't think that the White House Correspondents Dinner should be held at the White House. I'm not, because I think that the press should be separated from.
I don't think it ever would be.
I don't think it ever would be either. So to say that we have to have it at the White House now, what we actually have to do is deal with the political animus that exists in this country, the mental health crisis, the access to guns, all of those things. I'm not going to say this for the podcast before I get out of here, but I'm going to show you a picture.
You're showing me, who is that?
That's
this is family. Okay, yeah. Man.
Okay.
But where's the mom?
Okay.
That woman looks old. I think that's a grandmother. The mom is in the black, right?
No. I think that's one of his sisters.
That's a grandmother.
I'm saying, even if it's happening, they're making their play. Okay. We're gonna take a break real quick. We just finished a fantastic interview with Durand Bernarr, which we'll have for you guys later on in the show.
Yes.
And we talk a little bit about our next topic, which everyone is talking about.
I know. No.
It's the end of the relationship between Klay Thompson or Megan Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson. Donnie.
Yeah, she posted about the end of the relationship on Instagram over the weekend. She said, cheating had me around your whole family playing house, got cold feet, holding you down through all your horrible, all caps, mood swings and treatment towards me during your basketball season. Now you don't know if you can be monogamous, a whole bunch of question marks. Bitch, I really need a real break after this one. By y'all.
And this has plunged us into the depths of the gender wars. Have you guys been seeing it? The younger generation, our Z's over here, the Z corner. This is gonna be called the Z corner.
The Z corner.
This is the Z
I don't
corner.
know about that.
Bernard.
You're in
and
it, Jade. It's the Z corner.
That's the Z corner. The Z corner. Have you guys been seeing this? Is this as big a deal in the land of Z?
Yes.
It's a pretty big deal.
Yeah,
It's a pretty big deal. It's a pretty big deal.
Crying
Gender
on
wars
stage.
have popped off, with everyone saying that this is indicative of what Black women are going through right now.
What does the Z corner have to say about it?
I'll let
Jade, do you think that
Jade
this
go
is
first.
indicative of what Black women are going through? Are you surprised that the reaction has been so big?
Women are tired. Okay? We're tired. Enough. Meg's been through a lot, okay? And I think we were all rooting for this relationship. We all took an open mind to this relationship. You know what I mean?
Say more about open mind.
Well, I think people, specifically women who are fans of Megan and who support Megan Thee Stallion, they know her roster, her track record with men, and I think a lot of people were not fans of the people she was with. And I think with Klay, it was, I don't know, I think there was a different mindset going in for a lot of people in support of this relationship rather than other people she's been with in the past. I also think she had gone on a healing journey herself that put her in this place, that kind of allowed her fans and supporters to feel like she's coming into this new era of herself. So with Klay, that is bringing on, I don't know, it just was kind of alignment, right timing. But to say the least, this was shocking. And I think everyone is deciding to partake in those feelings. So, do what you will.
Do you know that Klay Thompson is a notorious cheater?
Yeah.
I didn't. I don't really know Klay Thompson like that.
I mean, you did, of course.
I mean, not really.
Really?
I mean,
His girlfriend, she's a white girl, famous on the internet. This is years ago, outed him big time about how he was cheating on her.
Right.
I think it was rumored that he was cheating on Laura Harrier and Coco Jones. So there is a reputation that precedes Klay Thompson about cheating. So I'm not surprised that there are allegations of cheating on Klay Thompson when I heard this. I'm not surprised that people have a big reaction because these are two big stars. I'm not surprised also that they have a big reaction because we were privy to a lot of their personal life. We knew about a house. We knew them making videos together. We saw them, just a lot of content that they were doing online together. So it seemed like that they were in it for the long haul. It felt like she was in Dallas more often. It felt like, which is where he plays. You saw them spending holidays together. They seem to be making memories together, creating milestones. So I can see the shock. I think that Meg is very beloved, particularly with Black women. And people were rooting for her happiness after all the drama that came out with Tory Lanez and her having to go through trial and the way that she was attacked a lot online despite her being the one who was shot. So people wanted the best. The hopes were really high. You also, I feel like there's a lot of talk, which we can get into, about Megan and her past and rumors that are out there that I feel like are very unfair anytime that Meg is brought into the situation. And what we saw from Meg in this relationship, or at least what was presented to us on social media, was a vulnerability, a femininity, a softness, very much so stepping into a place of like, how do I care and provide and show up for my man? I mean, she did a whole fucking song about it. And so I think that to then find out that that was taken advantage of, and according to her, we don't know if these allegations are true or not, but that she was disrespected and embarrassed and kind of shamed in such a public way, people, are upset, who are big Meg supporters, and rightfully so.
What rumors about Meg have come out?
Well, consciously, we talk about him during a conversation with Durand. He did a whole video on it. There's this image that's put up, and it's very, very crude. And it's Meg Thee Stallion, and she's in a compromised position. And she's been over, and there are a line of men that are alleged to have been with her or were with her, lining up behind her. Like, who's next in line? It's very degrading. And I think that is one of the negative things out there about Meg. And despite her saying, hey, this happened, he did this to me, she says it's going to take a while for her to get over. She's obviously struggling over it. The video's coming out with her crying on stage at her Broadway performance. She's clearly still upset about it. She gets online to tell people she's upset about it. And then you have stuff like that circulating. Interesting. Why?
Well, because we just talked about rumors about Klay Thompson.
I don't know how much of that is a rumor. Well, the one girl flat out, I don't even think he denied it. The first girlfriend I'm talking about, the influencer.
Right.
Flat out, that's not a rumor.
It's an allegation. Well, no, it's something that somebody said about him. That it's all rumors and innuendo till you know. Like hold on for a second. I don't give a fuck about how Klay Thompson is perceived in any way. That I don't in any way, shape, or form. Let me be clear. But I'm saying it's all rumor. Like, it's all rumor. All of it is rumor.
You might be right. Not might be right. I'm talking about two rumors, fine. But the reaction people have to those rumors, the rumors related to Meg and the rumors related to Klay, are different. And there are levels to rumors.
How are they different?
Okay, so I said the reaction that people have. Mm-hmm. I said Klay is known to be a notorious cheater. I'm not shocked that he cheated.
Okay.
That's all I said.
But
I did not talk about him being... That image is a negative image. That image relates to calling her because she might have dated other people, that she was bent over for basically men in the industry.
Right.
That she was that is a negative connotation. I said girlfriends have accused him of cheating.
Right.
I didn't talk about necessarily, oh, he's a bad man, like he can never be trusted. He's a bad, I didn't get into all the negative connotations that come with cheating. I just said these girlfriends have accused him of cheating. He is notoriously known as a cheater. That picture is so much more than just a rumor. It plays into stereotypes. It is meant to make her look a certain way that I don't think holds the same weight when I say, oh, he's got girlfriends that have accused him of cheating. So I'm not talking about the particular woman he's cheated with, he's cheated on. I'm not talking about who he goes after. I'm not talking about the type of women he's disrespecting. I'm not layering it. I'm just talking about one thing. That picture is layered.
Okay. So that picture is an indictment. Right?
Sure.
What you're saying, the picture is an indictment. I agree. Like, you guys all know, I don't give a fuck who you fuck, how many people you fuck, how you fuck them, any of that stuff, right? Do not care. Obviously, the identification of somebody as a serial cheater is a negative thing. Obvious. That's an obvious thing. We all know that. It's a negative thing. It may be true, but it is also a negative thing. This is how he is. This is who he is. He's inconsiderate. He has self-control issues. He is this... That which didn't stick to him before, for whatever reason, is probably going to stick to him now.
It won't.
It will, because it won't stick to him. It won't affect him.
Okay.
But it won't affect him because these things that we talk about don't really affect anyone, which is my point. My point is they affect us more than they affect any of the people that we're talking about.
So you think the picture that I'm talking about doesn't affect Megan?
What picture that you're talking about?
The picture I just described that shows her in a compromising position, and there are men lined up waiting for their turn.
You
don't think that affects her?
No. I'm sure it emotionally affects her.
Okay.
But if Meg Thee Stallion wants to date like another guy in the NBA, or if Meg Thee Stallion wants to date a rapper or an NBA player, see, the thing that would happen in your whatever, that's not going to affect her.
So
and if hold on, and if Klay Thompson wants to, after this, date the next hot model or whatever, it's not going to affect him.
Okay, can I push? I'll let you finish if you want more to say, but I have to push back on that.
Yeah.
It will affect her because Klay Thompson being a cheater as a basketball player who's well known, who's made 9 figures in the league, who has rings, who has all of that, right? Who people find attractive. It is not going to affect him. A woman who wants to date him will look past that for some of the things that I said. It won't impact him negatively in the same way. Meg doesn't necessarily want to just date someone. Let me go back to Klay. It won't affect him, not just he'll get to date them, they'll also want to be with him long term. Most women. That is not how Megan will be looked at when those stereotypes are placed on her. Of course, Meg is a beautiful woman from head to toe. Of course, it will not affect her in the fact that men want to date her. Men want to be with her. But it will impact the way, because men and women are perceived differently, and certain things that are applied to one gender aren't the other. It will impact her as far as if someone wants to wife her, which is what she ultimately wants, which is why that picture exists for her and doesn't exist for him. If Meg could date anybody she wants to, you are so right. Beautiful, talented, funny, all those things. But if she wants more than that, I'm not saying she can't find it, but that impacts her.
Now, there are two ways I can go here.
Okay.
One, just off the top of my head, I can run down a list of women that have quote unquote reputations that get married and get into long-term relationships.
I didn't say she can't get married.
Okay. Just that is what you said.
I said it's going to be harder for her.
I don't think so. Okay. Number one, and all of this is cosmetic. It really doesn't. I don't think so. Okay. I think that there's an unfair perception of her, and I acknowledge that. And that perception of her to a lot of men, particularly loud niggas on Twitter and other places like that, is going to be something that her and her fans are going to fight against. Right? I don't think there are millions of men, legitimately millions, that would cut their fingers off, not only to be with Meg Thee Stallion, but to have Meg Thee Stallion be their wife. There are men who would change their entire life, their whole life.
What kind of men are we talking about?
That is the key. The key is some of the men that might do that might not be men that she wants to do it with, right? Some of the men that might be that way might not be men that she thinks is worth that, and that's okay. That right there is legitimately, that's a calculation that everyone has to make, right? That's a calculation. If you're telling me it's easier for Klay Thompson to exist as a quote-unquote promiscuous man than it is for Meg Thee Stallion to exist as a quote-unquote promiscuous woman, that is obviously true.
Yeah, he doesn't have to worry about that. He'll get what the woman he wants.
Well, I'll tell you this. There is something that Klay Thompson is going to have to worry about now, which is the fact that a large contingent of Black women hate him. And he might not care about that. He might not have to care about that. There's going to be someone that's going to go with the good-looking athlete. The competition is that high. Mm-hmm. I'm saying in the case that you're making right now, it's really the same for her too. Now, I'm not, with me saying I could go through a list of women, legitimately, a list of women that have dated multiple rappers, women that they're going to get married. If they want to, they're going to get married. It's that type of thing is by and large, like with the cohort of people that we're talking about, not with the average people, the people living their lives, with the cohort of people that we're talking about. That's by and large, that's over. Like that's done. Like that thing to where someone puts a scarlet letter on you, and then for women like this, and then you are undesirable, and no one is going to touch you, no one is going to marry you because you've been in this crew, because you've been with that crew. That doesn't happen anymore.
Does it change your mind at all if I'm not saying you're wrong in that sense. My thought is the women that you're talking about who maybe have dated multiple people in the industry, they're not as known as Megan. It's not out there as much to where when the public sees, like now maybe people in the business might be like, oh yeah, like I know her, she used to date this person, this person, this person. But when they step out, the public isn't, oh, that's so-and-so, she did this and this and this. I'm saying Megan has a bigger platform. She's a bigger public figure. So I just feel like I'm not saying, I just feel like, I feel like I'm not saying this right.
The problem
I just
is
feel like
the only
value.
The only way for me to do this would be to name names.
And I'm not asking.
And that's unfair to those women. But what I'm saying is all of this stuff, the reason why that picture is to me a disgusting picture. It's not because that picture in any way is going to affect Megan Thee Stallion's prospects with men going forward. I just don't believe that. That's not the reason why that picture is a disgusting picture to me, not because of Megan Thee Stallion, a woman who has fame and power and money and who's gorgeous. That picture to me is disgusting because of what it means for women who aren't Megan Thee Stallion, what it means for women who might be perceived as promiscuous or whatever that are in a pool of men wherever they are in their towns or whatever that have to go up against those types of mindsets and ideas. Mm-hmm. It's an ugly, disgusting way to look at someone based upon the decisions that they make with their body, whether they made them or whether or not they didn't make them.
Yeah.
Which is the reason why I am anti-calling people birds, bops, hoes, sluts. The reason why all of that stuff that is widely accepted on one hand, and then on the other hand, when the wrong person does it, is looked at as super disgusting, it's all bad. Because what it all does is reinforce the idea that somebody's behavior in terms of what they choose to do with their body should be factored into not just a desirability scale, but into a scale of their humanity. You're less human if you have sex with a lot of people. You're less human if it's perceived that you like sex, particularly when you're a woman. You're less of a human. You're supposed to be more than that. You're supposed to be better than something else. We've had conversations for years on this podcast, and when we have them, it's like we come back to the fact that like either I don't have a standard or I don't have any of this stuff. It's like, hey, I'm listening to you guys. You shouldn't refer to women like that. Shouldn't call them hoes. Shouldn't call them birds. Shouldn't call them bops. Shouldn't call them doing all of that. You shouldn't like critique their behavior in a way that is not that men aren't critiqued. Because once again, I'm not talking about Victoria's Secret models or beautiful, rare, once in a lifetime rappers. They are actually not going to be affected by this. They're not. Like the people that I'm sure Meg is affected emotionally.
Yeah,
I'm sure that
I want to be very clear about that.
Just, what I mean is, and I'm talking about specifically in the way that it's been. Like I'm sure that's a terrible thing emotionally, and the fact that there are so many men that are eager for her to suffer, that's a terrible thing emotionally. I'm sure that's terrible. But to me, when we're talking about this stuff, we're using celebrities and people as mascots for the hurt that we feel, for like how we look at things, how vulnerable we feel, like how unseen or overlooked we feel. And I think that is understandable because we do it all the time. But I also think that a lot of times it's useless. It's useless. And at my most cynical, this has nothing to do with Meg, this has nothing to do with Klay. At my most cynical, because of where I come from, I know that sometimes it's intentional. I know that sometimes, I'm not talking about specifically this situation, sometimes your breakup, the birth of your child, your divorce, your whatever, sometimes that stuff is part of very cynical and deliberate PR stuff that is used to incite a bunch of people that might love you, that is used to incite a bunch of people to make them pick sides, to make things more favorable to you, to make all of that stuff. I have no evidence that that's happening right now. But what I'm saying is when I look at all of this stuff that's happening, whatever it is, going back and forth, I don't know how he'll respond to this because there's not even a lot of information that's out about it. I don't know.
Probably won't.
I don't know how he'll have to say something. He'll have to say something. So I don't know how he'll respond to this, but what I do know is I personally understand where this is coming from. I do not think that this is useful for people. And I think that I don't think that
What do
people
you
should
mean?
be this invested.
What? Well, yeah. I mean, I don't think people should be this invested, even though I went through explaining I know why they are that invested. I don't think you should be comparing it, to your point, yourself to people, one, that you don't know. Any relationship, like, I can tell you every single thing that broke down in my marriage, and you still don't know. I still can't tell you everything, right? You weren't in it. You don't experience it. You can't compare yourself to every single thing. So that's just in general. That's whether you're reading a random story on social media of somebody you don't know or whether somebody's a celebrity. So that's that. That's that. I forgot my second point now. But like, yeah, I mean, I just don't think that, I don't think it's useful in that way, but I understand how people upset, particularly women, particularly Black women, because it's not just, oh, Klay allegedly did Megan wrong. It's the reaction that you see from certain men on social media who are using it as an opportunity to bring a woman down. That becomes upsetting. It's the reaction of maybe you don't know Meg, but you know what it's like to be in a relationship where you feel like you gave your all, or you were more vulnerable than ever, or you were more soft, you opened yourself up, and then it doesn't end the way that you want it to. I think that's triggering to people. I don't think you have to know somebody to see that and maybe feel that. It's kind of like when people talk about, too, like the nice guy, right? Like the nice guy gets done wrong by a woman so many times, and then maybe it hardens them and changes them. Someone could look at this situation and be like, man, she did this, she did all these things that people maybe said she wasn't. Like, you could see how that could impact her and she could be totally different. She could have a negative opinion when it comes to men. Maybe somebody relates to that. So I understand the social media conversation of it all. I just don't understand getting like enraged or upset or being degrading or wanting to shame someone or even wanting to devalue a person based off of shit you do not know.
The nice guy thing is bullshit.
Okay.
Like, so there have been several interviews over the last couple of weeks where prominent women have come out and gone, I wish that I would have given the nice guy a chance early on.
Yeah, who do we talk about?
It's a couple of different women that have said this, right? That I wish I would have given the nice guy a chance early on. If the nice guy would have been able to, like, he's like, I wish that I would have been able to do that, right? And a whole bunch of people take that and then they run with it as an excuse to be hard on hoes.
Yeah, no,
that's what they do. They take that and they use it as an excuse.
Or I don't date this type of person anymore because they did this to me. Same thing. Same
thing. Or this is the type of fodder, like when women are talking about that, and I can't speak to the authenticity of those feelings about whether or not nice guys are not attractive and desirable to women, whether or not women need somebody that's a little bit more of a leader or alpha or whatever. But all of those ideas about nice guys, which are basically ideas about like decency and patience and like men who aren't like super domineering, those ideas are then taken by the manosphere, guys like Andrew Tate and the rest of them, and they say, look, they're telling you, this is what they're telling you. They're telling you that what you're doing, flowers and candy, bullshit, they're telling you it's not good enough. What they're telling you is that you need to go to the gym, you need to become a hyper toxic alpha male, you need to be abusive, you need to be a borderline maniacal about yourself, and then that will make you desirable to women. I don't know if that's true or not. I know a lot of nice guys who are successful in doing just fine, so I don't think that it's true. But I'm saying all of this stuff, when it's talked about in these constructs,
sure,
it just makes it really easy to take it, then bastardize it, and move it to whatever you want it to be and translate it the way you want it to be. Let me be clear. I don't think any of that's happening right now. And I think a lot of this has to do with timing. A lot of this has to do with the fact that this is coming on the back of Black women feeling particularly attacked by stories that they've seen in the media and about because I've talked to a lot of people about this. I wanted to know why this was so uniquely triggering. And there is like a kinship that women feel with Meg because of how she lost her parents, because of the fact that she was the victim of this terrible crime, and then she was made the villain in that terrible crime. To me, Meg reminds me of Shedeur Sanders.
Okay.
Let me tell you what I mean by this. There is a way that Black men feel about Shedeur Sanders that I have not been able to really understand. Like, I haven't been able to understand why this particular athlete gets so many people animated. Like, they are in for him. Remember, I've joked about it before. Shedeur Sanders is the civil rights issue of our times, and everything that's he'll go out there, he'll play in a certain way, and people will be like, is he being put in the best position to succeed? Mm-hmm. Then I thought for a second. What I thought about was the fact that, like, for a lot of brothers, for a lot of Black men, that is their dream scenario. Their dream scenario is to be in a position where they have had this amazing, hyper-involved, like close father, a father who will not let you fail. Whatever you do, this father will not let you fail. And he has the power to make certain that you have everything that you need to be good looking, to be confident, to be all of these things. They feel like, for a lot of brothers, they feel like the existence of Shedeur Sanders as a Black man is peak existence. And in order for their idea of how they want to be to, like, be real, then he has to succeed. And not only that, but purposefully, people will try to make him not succeed. They'll try to ensure his failure because of all of these things that are culturally true to them. They need that to work. They need Deion's boy, a guy who they would love to be their dad, a guy who they would love to be around. They need Deion's boy. They need him to succeed. They feel like him. They would want to be him. With Meg, it's a little different, but I do feel like she has become, for a lot of people, just a flashpoint of how Black ladies are treated, of how Black women are treated. It feels like that there's no one who she can rely on. Her parents are gone. She even tried to protect Tory at first. She didn't, and then she was made the villain in that situation. And the end of it just becomes, who is going to take care of Meg?
Yeah.
Like, who is going to take care of Megan Thee Stallion? Like, is there anybody out there that is going to be like, you know what, you've been through so much. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to provide a safe place for you to exist. I get it. I totally understand it. I do get it. And while all of these things are true, I also, honestly and truly, would caution people, like, seriously, coming from where I come from, caution people from being overinvested.
I mean, they do it with all celebrities.
Like,
they're all their favorite celebrities.
Just caution people, because at the core of it, it is different because these issues are life or death issues for Black women. I understand that. But at the core of it, this is the reason why we can't have a conversation about Jay-Z and capitalism. This is the reason why we can't have a conversation about sexual abuse with some of these people, because they are made into more than people. They're made into mascots for culture or for a cohort of individuals,
or for issues,
or for an issue. So in this, like, I want the best for her, like, but I want the best for us. And there's just been a lot of fighting over this. And I feel like getting into, I don't know, man. I just feel like I'm not so sure that all of this is worth this, because some nigga who you say, I didn't know, who is a serial cheater, cheated on another lady. Is this a conversation that comes back to, like, Black men not being able to protect Black women to you?
I think some people will take that away. I'm not going to get into that extreme of it, especially knowing what is allegedly rumored about him. Like, it seems to be, an alleged MO. I'm not going to I'm not going to take this situation down to this is another thing of black men not protecting black women. Then I'm just as problematic as some of these people in corners of the internet. But I understand in particular, for the way you just laid out so greatly, why people are so wanting to wrap their arms around Megan and making it that issue because they want that for her. But I'm not going to take this incident and say, see, this is another example of black men not protecting black women.
Do you feel it?
For Klay.
Do you see a connection? Do you see a connection between the lack of protection that Meg had in her relationship and the lack of protection that black women in the Justin Fairfax situation or in the Shreveport situation? Is there a corollary there to you?
With Meg and Klay?
Yeah.
No.
You do realize that is an argument that is being had.
Again, I said I'm not going to make it that extreme for me. I already laid out my point of what upset me in the conversation surrounding Megan. I'm more upset that people take this as an opportunity to degrade women, black women in particular, to devalue them, to shame them, to embarrass them, to just like as an excuse to get that off because that is what you already feel for whatever reason. That upsets me more. I'm not looking at what Klay did to Megan. We don't know enough. I can't do that. But I don't, like what's being alleged, but I can't compare that to femicide, which is what I believe Justin Fairfax committed, and for the man in Shreveport. Sorry, I don't know his name. I can't compare that. I think that Justin Fairfax hates women. I think that there's a history of violence towards women, in particular to him. I can't compare that to Klay with what's happening. Now, do I think there was a disrespect of Megan, who is a black woman? Absolutely. If what is alleged to be, what Megan is saying is true, absolutely. But it does not equate to femicide.
Last question. Everybody can answer this. Does the disrespect of a black woman reflect the disrespect of black women?
That it can. It can. But again, then I would be a hypocrite as we have this conversation of you can't make that person's issue particularly your issue. Again, I understand the lore surrounding Meg. I think when you broke down the Shador part example or comparison, that makes a lot of sense for various reasons. But I think it's subjective. Every single thing is different. I can't say that. I can't generalize to that.
Like, what do y'all think?
I feel like as humans, we shouldn't have icons as big as that to decipher what we feel. Like, I feel like everybody else go through different situations, but we see similarities, but we can't just say, oh, because this person go through that represents the whole culture thing. I think we talked about this on the podcast about how music is. The dude, what's the African dude's name that we did? He was he was alleged for children. He was like a pedophile for children, but
Jesus Christ,
Shabu, what's his name? We was talking about him on the show.
He's a pedophile for children.
No, he represented like the becoming of music, and we was talking about him and how he was an icon.
Oh, he's talking about Africa.
Oh, Africa Bambaataa.
Yeah, African Bambaataa. There we go, African Bambaataa.
It's like Africa Bambaataa. The fuck? Like, what the fuck? Like, oh my! Oh,
I couldn't
Bernarr,
think of his
get
name.
your shit together,
I gotta
dog.
think of his name.
Like, get off the mic.
He didn't know who he was before.
Yeah. Jade.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Never mind. Fuck no. Like, no, I'm saying, do you feel like disrespect to one woman, to one man, is disrespectful to all women or all men? It certainly can be. Right?
I think it can be, but I don't think that's like all inclusive. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
We can't do that.
I'm just saying.
You can't be like that. You can't be like one. Okay, so one man disrespected
it's just an
this black
extreme
woman.
Yeah.
Then all black. Like you can't. It's subjective. It's to each. Like this is a particular situation. I'm not taking this and be like, see, literally, this is not the conversation I had with my black friends, women friends. We didn't say like, see, that all black men are like this. You just can't do that.
No. I don't even give a fuck about that. Like, it's not.
But this means that black men disrespect black women?
No. I don't even, like, the black men part of it is not necessarily even what I'm talking about. Like, what I'm talking about is because that is just the way that we talk. We talk in these generalities and we talk about this stuff in this way, and like that is what it is. I'm not going back down that road. What I'm basically saying is this fair to be used as a part of?
No.
Okay, that's what I'm.
It's too it's generalizing. This is not the Justin Fairfax thing. I almost find it disrespectful to compare the two, if you really want me to be honest.
Well, I do think I see the genesis of the point. I see the framework of the point.
It's a disrespect to a black woman. That's
and
as far as I can.
a protection of black women,
Yes.
and a understanding of what black women go through, particularly in situations like this.
Of course, but to compare it to those violent situations, I get it. That's what I said. I get the disrespect part. I get the protection part. I think that we're missing some steps if you go to that. That was also obviously disrespectful, but that was also violent, hate, whatever. But I don't think we should dismiss the conversation. I think there are ways to talk about it, but from what I've seen on the internet, I've seen a lot of it go a little too far. And when it goes too far, then you lose the meat of it. You lose the point. And then it can't be an effective conversation that actually has some kind of influence, or, I can't say it will change everybody, but at least it can be meaningful and, maybe influence some people. When you go too far and extreme, you lose the plot. Okay,
we're going to get off this. We got to get serious before we get out of here. I will say this, though. I want to make sure that everybody understands I'm not comparing the grotesque, terrible things that Meg has gone through in her life to Shedeur Sanders. I was talking about the reasons why I think people identify.
Yeah, rally around them. I thought it was a good point.
Okay. I miss this. We're about to play. We're gonna play a game.
Oh,
I mean, I just had some random questions if we wanted to just.
Oh, I'm with that.
I told you, I was like, he's gonna love this.
I'm with
we
that.
have some that are intimacy based. We have some that for relationships.
No, intimacy for sure.
Yeah.
This is our sex. Like we sex talk every.
You're
every podcast,
hearing we sex talk. Oh, you guys better qualify that shit before people like. Yeah.
Well, shit,
I know Van was up there sex talking racial.
This is
that the man that you're seeing and the voice that you're hearing is Durand Bernarr, singer songwriter.
Yes, sir.
Comedian. Give them all the superlatives.
Man, okay, so singer, songwriter, producer, arranger,
DJ,
DJ, unlicensed life coach,
actor.
Okay.
What's one that you want to add to that?
Author.
Absolutely.
Would it be your story or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you haven't. Are you working on that now?
I have about 10 to 15 different documents of chapters, ideas that are just isolated stories that I feel are things that kind of shaped where I am in my thought process. So those are things like my dad has a chapter, my mom has a chapter, my experience with my coming to my, discovery with my sexuality has its own chapter.
Right.
My relationship with fear, my relationship with fear, my relationship with love, like all those things kind of. So I'm just trying to figure out like where it kind of flows.
Book of essays. Easiest thing to do. That's interesting because I feel like you call yourself everybody's favorite cousin on the dad side. Is that what it is?
Dad side,
but
yeah.
you do feel like that. And people feel so connected to you. I would also think that they know so much about you, but you still have so much to say.
Yeah. I it's one of those things where you don't realize that I have turned a pocket of my personality into a brand. And so now that is expected. People will often think something's wrong because I'm not bouncing off the wall sometimes. And it's like, y'all, chill. I'm high. Leave me alone. You know what I'm saying?
Like, human being.
You know what I'm saying? I'm over here chilling, especially if I come through the spot, hoodie up, hat up, like I can't not be noticed. It really depends, but it's like let me be invisible if I can. You know what I'm saying? Be chill. And I used to feel like at one point, my fans were like we was on some cool shit, And I think there's a certain level of people that can know that someone is amazing and still have they can still view them as a human being.
Right.
And then when you get outside of your village and, you know, people that have been rocking since the very beginning and now the masses know, it's a little different.
Yeah.
It's a major tug and pull. And I'm really trying to allocate for these moments of being able to rest and be still, because so much is happening. And it's like, I don't even know whether I'm coming or going. I'm just trying to figure out if I ate.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, are you exhausted?
At least I get a nap in. I can get my naps in. So that's what's been helping.
It's interesting about what you're talking about. The question I was going to ask you with, the first question I was going to hit you with is, you're in your season. And being in your season is a really serious thing for a Black performer.
Yeah.
Anybody go talk to a Black performer that had their season and then felt like they couldn't make it last or they were out of it, and they start thinking about like high school. Like, and I have had this conversation a lot because of TMZ, having covered people at their zenith and all of that stuff like that. And they always have things that they would have done differently. They always have things that they would have done differently for themselves and their careers. A season does not have to end. It really doesn't. And we see that with legacy artists all the time.
Absolutely.
For you, having arrived into your season, how do you feel about it? And what do you feel like, if any responsibility to yourself is at this point? What is that responsibility to yourself?
I think the main thing for me, the first thing that comes to mind is being grounded, you know, being where my feet are as much as I possibly can, even with things moving as fast as they are, which I'm not a stranger to things moving, but at the speed that it's going, that is also an adjustment, because now you have moments of, wow, I really don't even have idle time. Like, I don't have time to just shoot the shit, because I got shit that needs to get done. And I feel convicted about lending time to other stuff that is even close to leisure, and I have not handled what these niggas been terrorizing the group chat about. Where this, where's that, we need this, you check this, you check that, I need this for that, did you check, I need this deliverable, I need to. Okay.
Can I tell you a quick story?
Yes.
Somebody came in to host TMZ, and it's early. Like, you come in and you do it at like 6 o'clock. So a lot of times when Harvey would be gone, there were certain people we wouldn't even reach out to come do the show, because we knew they weren't coming in that bitch at 6 o'clock to host the show.
Yeah.
They were in there, and they were about to go on, and they were talking to their manager, and they were like, I never forgot this. And they were like, yo, I'm tired, like, for all of this stuff, but we have to do this, and then we have to go to New York. When are we going to rest? And the manager looks back at them, and they said, when does Coke rest? When does Coca-Cola rest? When does Doritos rest? Like, when does Pizza Hut rest? I was like, shit.
Yikes.
Like, and then they said you wanted to be a brand. You told us this. You said you wanted to be a brand.
Yeah.
When does a brand rest? Yeah. I was like, yo. And I was like, hey man, they need you. Like, in the thing, person went up and went, and that's kind of what we're talking about. Do you feel like you want to be a brand?
What on earth did I say yes to?
Do you want that? Do you want to be a brand? Do you want to consider yourself, do you want to one day become this thing that everybody feels like? Because we're talking about commodification. Is that something that you want?
I think right now I'm looking at it as I'm able to be myself, and that make way for me, you know, that opens doors for me in ways that have not before, you know. However, I will say, as far as like this responsibility that I feel, I don't know if y'all know, but I've been elected the Threyer, which is the mayor of Black Threads. Yes.
Oh, well, Van thought he was king of threads.
I didn't think shit.
Listen.
Wait a minute.
I didn't think
you got booted.
I didn't think shit.
He's the people's mayor. He said elected. They don't even want you.
They appointed
That's self-proclaimed.
I just made my official statement this morning.
Hey.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I say congratulations as well.
Listen, and I'm looking for. I said I need an all black woman cabinet, okay?
Oh, I'm more than happy to be a part of it.
And then there's the Men of Valor Assembly.
Yeah.
Okay, where the gentlemen come in and we help assist the
You don't like
ladies.
it.
That's
Okay,
for somebody
pick
else.
stuff up.
I'm the
you
king
know.
of threads, so I'll be coming to try to take you out, but that's okay. You can employ Rachel. Yeah, you can.
I'm here to support. I love it.
We have Dominique Morgan. We have Jasmine Garden, Christian A. Smith. I'm reaching out to Conscious Lee. We have
shit! Hold
Yvette
on,
Brown.
Wait, can I say something real quick?
Yes.
This is gonna reach out to Conscious Lee. Everybody, Conscious Lee is the single most impressive person that I've been around in a long, long time. We were at the we tried to get Rachel to come as well, but she said fuck the movement. We were at the freedom movement at Cal State LA. Conscious Lee is a phenomenon.
Yeah.
Like, I saw him in DC. I'm glad that you guys are linking up, because those two energies are like what needs to happen right now. What a phenomenal orator. Just a brilliant genius of a person.
Mm-hmm. Solution based. We love solution based. Because I had to make sure that I was clear about this. And I'm gonna thread this later on. But I am not in any position to govern anybody. What I happen to be is a solutionist that has a platform.
Great.
So if I see people getting riled up about something, like for instance, I said, y'all, please don't engage in the rage bait. The block and not interested buttons are right there. Please don't engage in the foolery. That's it. All I'm doing is giving you a suggestion on how you can have a little less stress in your body.
Yep. Yep.
That's it.
I listen. I made a statement very similar when Tamara joined. I said, guys, you don't have to agree with someone. Just because you don't agree with them doesn't mean you have to bully them or attack them. Just keep scrolling. Just keep it moving. What would you do? What would you do with that situation as the thrayer of threads?
Yeah. Heavy as the head.
You know, it's it's tough. You know, when the people feel that you have separated yourself from them in some kind of way, it's hard for them to feel like they need to welcome you in a space that they're thriving in and having fun and whatnot. And it's just, me personally, that woman has not done anything to me.
Right.
Okay, but offer entertainment as I grew up. You know what I'm saying? So, however, you have other black women that feel a certain way, so I'm just like, y'all, I can only suggest, y'all, that's not kind.
Right.
However, if they like,
this is where you give it to the city council.
you know what I'm saying?
This is where we step in.
Yeah.
Or the thread council.
The
We'll call it the thread council.
We have the thread council.
The thread council.
Yes.
You got the new album coming out, and just hearing you talk about like all the things that you're doing. When you announced it, I was like, wait, we got an album coming out too? I don't know when you found the time, the space to do it. When you were creating this album, what kind of emotional space were you in?
I'm feeling scattered, however, still centered within myself. I'm feeling like I'm in alignment with where I am, not only emotionally and mentally, but sonically, and having the attention of people that I have been inspired by and that have took part in raising me. They're valuing what I have to offer. And while some people might say, now that Durand got his Grammy, now everybody want to work with him. Now everybody wants to, and I just want to say, I hear you. This is just like when people say, I was trying to get you hip to Durand back in 2012 and you wasn't trying to hear it. I didn't have Stuck back in 2012. I didn't have Overqualified back in 2014. I had my personality and I had me singing the shit out of other people's songs, but I didn't have my own material that stuck. We didn't have anything that stuck just yet. I just needed to find my recipe. Once I found that out, he was out of here.
Why do you think people do that? I have a theory, but I want to hear yours.
sometimes you can be convinced, but sometimes you need to convince other people. And that can look like so many different things. I've learned being in Los Angeles for over 10 years that people are more prone to help those that they see helping themselves. And I know that's not something exclusive to Los Angeles, but just being in this particular space that I'm in these environments, because sometimes we can feel a little entitled by our proximity and feeling like, well, dang, like have you mentioned, or, you say I'm dope, but like, and it's just, we have to put in the work for that. Now, if there's somebody that wants to help and come up, which there was, then it's like, again, they can give you the tools, but you have to apply it. And I don't know what someone else's recipe for dope is. I just know what my template is. And I don't mind sharing and being I just did a song with Tiana Major 9. Oh my goodness. I was up in there vocal producing and telling her to do this run and place this right, do this right here. Oh, I was so excited.
I think that people are searching for sincerity and authenticity, and they want to believe for their own lives that someone will look at them and respect their talent and not their product, because sometimes it's hard to produce. And I don't know if you guys just caught the look, the subtle facial tick that Durand gave you. I don't know if you, but the fact is that that's not what happens, right?
Yeah.
So people talk to me all the time about their ideas. If you have a script, it just means more. If you've shot that script, now it means a lot, because you were willing to do whatever you had to do to get your thing made.
Yeah.
And there are people that should look at you and say, this person is talented. I've never heard anyone like this before. I've never looked. Let me invest. But most of the time, people are going to invest into what you have been able to produce.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
It's not. However, I understand the business side of it, because now, you have the powers that be are saying, well, we don't want to look at you unless you have, this amount of monthly listeners, or, this amount of followers, or you have to have this amount of stream. Like, we need to see that you have done X amount of heavy lifting, because we're not trying to do artist development. When artist development just wasn't at labels. Artist development was at church. Artist development was after school programs and music class.
Talent
shows. Like, that was also like families that were in the church that sang together. Like, that was a part of artist development. And it's not what it used to be. Not to say that everything has to remain the same, but I think when you are removing certain core things that help people just be well-rounded in art and expressing themselves, you can tell. You can just tell there's a lack in it. So when someone like me comes along, it's very reminiscent of what the aunties and the uncles used to jam to, our parents used to listen to, because Earth, Wind & Fire was my first gig.
Right.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like, I grew up on Shaka Khan and Rufus and Rasan Patterson and,
you can hear it.
All that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk too just about, like, for our audience members who may be hearing from you from the first time, just like, you're not somebody who just popped up randomly, who went viral. You have true talent, but you also just like have the grassroots. You've been doing this forever. And you talked about it in your speech when you were accepting your Grammy. Talk a little bit about talk about that. And then just also, do you still see people doing that? Or maybe for people who have been doing that, because we were just having this conversation, I cannot remember who we were talking to, about how some of the most talented people we see aren't in LA. Like, they don't have the opportunity to get here, or they don't have the connections, or they're not Kendrick. We were talking to Kendrick, aren't known. Can you talk a little bit about your journey in that, and then just maybe even some encouragement to someone who's been in it for 10 years and wants to turn away, and you're like, keep going another 10 years? Because that's what you did.
Yeah. And I've been preaching this since since I got the megaphone. You cannot do this by yourself. It is just virtually chemically impossible for you to be able to do everything by yourself. And it is important that you have a a team around you. For me, I have a village that just happened to become the team, but a village that believes in you and can be your eyes where you can't see. Or a lot of us wear multiple hats, because it's small, but it's effective, and I've had conversations with folks that were, I've been doing this for 5 years and nobody's taking me serious, and I'm just let's talk when you reach year 15. And if nothing's popped off, then let's wait till your grind is old enough to vote. And if nothing popped off, holla at me when they can buy you a drink. And then we can talk about no one taking you serious or it not happening. It's you really never know where things can take you. And and there's always, because it's a small revolving door. And there are so many doors. But see, here's the thing, and I tell people this too. I'm pretty sure there's about at least 3 gentlemen down in Willacoochee, Georgia, Bessemer, Alabama, somewhere, who could sing circles around me.
More.
Like more than that.
Yeah.
But at least 3. I'm being very, very just.
Yeah.
But singing circles. Jump higher than me. Splits, out of here. However, they don't have the same resources. They don't have the same village. They might not even have the same desire.
They might not even have. They might have bad habits.
They
might have all kinds of things. Like there's a confluence of things that got you to where you are, that have to do with like sacrifices that you've made. Like it used to be people, you be in church or you be whatever, you be at your family reunion, and you come in there and you hear a voice, you'd be like, who the fuck is that? And your aunt would be like, that's so-and-so's kid, but after this, they're going to get some heroin. Right? And I'm not using addiction. I'm just saying there's so many things that happen. There's so many ways that you have to be in order to get to this point. And one of them is clear. Yeah. Clear on what you want and clear on what you're willing to do to get it. Let me ask you this.
Yes.
Is there anything that purity, being able to be here and still be a good person and still have the right set of politics and still have enough of yourself that you haven't compromised? How important is that to you? How important do you think it should be? Do you think people get caught up too much in the behaviors of their faves?
Well, one thing that my therapist had to remind me of some years back is that I am not just Durand from East 93rd in St. Clair.
Bone Thugs and Harmony?
Oh, they grew up on 99.
99.
Yeah, I'm on 93rd.
My
yeah.
nigga.
Yes, it's the first that I'm on. So that's one thing. And even in my shows, when I have the attention of a room, I always want to leave them better than when I found them. So whether that is sharing something that I learned in therapy or some ways in which that I grew or that I learned, and hopefully that could inspire someone else to be a better version of themselves. So I would like to think that I'm on I don't even like to say the right side of things, because wrong, it's
right.
I'm thinking not what's right or wrong, what is considerate, what is kind, what is
humanistic.
Yes. Like, and tell me, I don't know, maybe if I'm the only one, I have a heart for people and I can't stand people all at the same time. I love my people, but I can't stand people. Like, do you get, like, it's just, it's tough being in that position sometime, you know.
I think more people are like that than they like to admit.
Yeah.
Like, you're lying if you're not. You can't like everybody. There's no such thing.
And I know I'm not meant to be liked.
Yeah.
And, you know, I would like to put this out there too. For the most part, I would like to say that I would like to extend, and hopefully the people have a positive encounter with me. And then there's some times where you might not get the best version of me, and that's never intentional. I think sometimes, again, when I said I have made this dimension of my personality, the brand, that is what people expect all the time, even when you are tired, even when you are literally screaming on the inside. And you have to be quiet about that.
Mm-hmm. How do you protect, or did you, do you, however you want to answer it, your individuality in an industry that tries to shape artists? And I'm wondering, has somebody even tried to, do you have a story of somebody trying to like put you in a box or tell you what you need to do? And clearly you didn't, because you've always stayed true to who you are. So how do you protect that?
First and foremost, shout out to the late, great Devette Singletary. She came to stay with me and my parents when I was about 19. I just turned 19. And I met her when I was on the road with Earth, Wind & Fire. And she had worked as a image consultant with LaFace Records. She did Tony Braxton's album cover. She worked with Usher when he was a kid, TLC, all those folks. And I brought her with me to this open mic jam session that I was performing at. And there were inquiry, while she was like co-managing me at the time with my dad, there would be people asking her about my sexuality and what I like. And that has never been something that I've pushed to the forefront, you know. And she always stood up for me. And I remember her telling me about someone that could help with mannerisms, you know, to kind of tone down and I was open to it, you know, just so that like whatever is, like I've never been one that felt I had all the answers. So whatever it is that we need to do to at least get our foot in the door, I'm open to it. And I went up and sang 2 numbers, but the first song I sang, it was after we'd had that conversation. And she said, it was so painful looking at you be so conscious about every move that you made. She said, it would be absolutely unfair of me to ask you to be something other than yourself. And so I went up for the second number and I had my confidence back and I didn't care about all that and I rocked the house. So not for nothing, I've had to try to find other ways to maneuver through, because everyone had their own ideas of what they felt I was. And also, I feel like I'm just now getting into the industry. And I say that because, yes, I say that because I've always felt I was on the outskirts. Like if the industry was downtown, I was up in the valley. It's like I know people there. I have access to certain parts of it, but I don't have a place down there. So being on a Grammy accredited projects, you know, like the Internet's Ego Death. I was on Anderson Paak's Ventura Project. I did backgrounds in that one won for Best Progressive R&B Album. And then K Tronada for Bubba, Free Fall, that won. Then we did what else? Timeless. But the same year that Timeless got nominated, my project En Route got nominated. And that was the first time I'd ever gotten nominated by myself, as myself.
Right.
And so that's when I felt like, oh no, I'm actually in the ether of things. I'm no longer on the outskirts. And so yeah, you never know what's going to hit. It's just about, you have to love it. It's like it's I call this glamorized customer service. Glamorized customer service. Am I wrong?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I mean, you know, I think about this. The existence of, based upon like what you just said, what you just talked about, the existence of gay artists in Black popular music has been ever present. Like, I don't want to out anyone, but artists that we knew were flamboyant, that they were gay, or whatever it was. There seemed to be, though, in the past, this truce that existed, which was as long as they didn't like embrace their lifestyle, that we'll accept you. Like, we wouldn't ask like too many questions. We wouldn't delve into it. And we would sometimes even like particularly with like my grandmother and stuff like that, they would look at like my grandmother loved the Liberace, right? That he's obviously not. They loved the Liberace, and my mom used to poke fun at her. You're like, you know, Liberace's gay, like, and you get mad, right? Like you get upset, you get mad. But that truce seems to be something that modern artists are no longer willing to do.
I never signed up for it in the first place.
Exactly, right? So like, and it is something that's like really interesting for me to like behold. And once again, I don't want to call out artists from the past. I did it because see how that popped out. I did it to Liberace because he's white. But that truce seems to be something that artists are no longer willing to do. And when I listen to you tell that story, I'm listening to you reject that.
Yeah.
How freeing is that for you? And do you think that's something that we're seeing all over? I mean, obviously Frank Ocean, so many different people that are saying, this is me, this is who I am. And these songs are about love, not love to a specific woman, not love to a specific, these are songs about love.
Oh, you know, we talking about gay niggas. We're talking about gay shit.
Right. Okay, cool. But what I mean by saying that is that, like, to me, what I mean by saying that is, to me, any song about loving a human being is a song about love.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's actually a song about love and how you feel, how attachment feels and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
But it seems like we weren't willing to accept that before, and people are either now more willing to accept it, or they're getting into the understanding of the human condition a little bit better. Like, that they're not asking you to change who you are as much. Is that true, or is that the way I'm reading it from my liberal lefty fucking LA space?
You have people that are down with it that never cared in the first place. Mm-hmm. You have people who do care, that feel like you're pushing an agenda. You know, there's going to be sides from all of it. I would much rather focus on the people that fuck with it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's why not.
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, I've never asked for anyone's permission to be myself.
I push the gay agenda.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Thank you.
I'm a pusher of it.
Thank you.
Well, you have.
I'm a pusher, Katie.
I'm a pusher. I'm a pusher of the gay agenda.
Well, you have, and it's paid off because people fuck with you. Clearly.
Yeah.
Clearly.
You can't deny the ability and the skill. You could say, I don't really prefer his music. That's fine. It's all an acquired taste. But to say, oh, this nigga can't sing, or he's not gifted, or he's not talented, you're a hater.
You're a hater.
And I don't have haters, but you are a hater.
I feel like to watch you do your thing is a whole experience. It's not even just about this. So it's like, to your point, you might not vibe with the song, but you're gonna vibe with like the performance, the dancing, the facial expressions, the harmony that's happening. Like, it's a whole thing. You need to go to a show.
What?
What do you mean what?
I need to go to one show.
You gotta come to one of
you gotta
Durand
pull
shows.
up.
You gotta experience it.
Wait. What are you doing? What are you doing on the 6th?
I would have loved it before, but now that I know that he's trying to undercut me, I don't want to go. I don't want to go to the show.
What are you doing on the 6th? On the 6th of May?
You guys have something in common.
I'm getting my kingdom together.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're gonna be. That's right. Yeah, because you're gonna. Yeah, I'm doing Netflix as a joke. Wait,
I'm doing it too. I'm doing it on 4th though.
On the 4th?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you busy on the 6th?
I think so.
I would love to have you.
Well, where's the show at? I'll go.
Electric Pacific.
Oh well,
in K-Town?
Why I asked where the show at?
I don't know.
I'm gonna know. Like,
we'll be there.
No, I'll go.
Yes,
yeah,
okay.
I would love that.
We'll be there.
But to be honest with you, the reason why I asked is because like, there's like a joy that comes from what it is that you do. People get happy to fucking see you. They do. We was at the party. You walked in there. It's like everybody they're happy they're happy that things are going well.
Yeah.
That is very precious, and a lot of times people don't understand like how important it is.
Yeah.
People want to have haters. They don't care as much about having lovers or having people that just are happy when they see you. Do you feel the need, you talked about being tired before, to like connect with that, to keep that going? Does that ever feel like a prison, that people love you so much? And it like, do you feel like you can be your full self, being that your fucking approval rating right now, you're killing Trump obviously, but your approval rating right now is way up in the 80s and the 90s of people who want you to succeed, are happy that you're succeeding, and want you around? The burden ever?
Yeah, I think the only burden of that is the excitement can sometimes cloud people's judgment. And what I mean by that is I would love, okay, so let's take, for instance, a club setting. I hate sections. Absolutely hate it. I feel like I'm on display. Yes, I like to move about in the city. Girl, let's go to the bar. Okay, let's go over here to the set. Okay, let's go over here. Like I want to move about. Mm-hmm. But first and foremost, I'm 5'8", so it's like already I'd rather be 5'8" than Avery Wilson's height, okay? Because he's not escaping nobody, okay? But
that nigga can sing too.
Sing,
shit,
sing. Hey, Barry,
that nigga can sing, boy.
Yes, but yes,
God
yes.
Damn.
But yes, I would want to be out in the space if people just respected personal space.
Yeah,
it's the you're making yourself comfortable on my body and you haven't even introduced yourself. Mm-hmm. Hi, my name is. You went right for the touch, and I get it. I understand. I feel like Jesus. Hymns all around me. Hymns all around me. And not the kind in books. And I get that. I love that. I love that people love that I bring them light. It's just, it can get very overstimulating when it comes from multiple places at once.
I've seen it for you.
You know? And it's like, yes, I am a person of the people. But then it's like, it's very overstimulating.
Of course.
And I want people to understand that, like, I can acknowledge you without you coming and doing this first before you have even introduced yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They're excited.
They are. I get that. Trust me, I've been enough therapy. I got 2 therapists. I understand the psychology. Oh, yes.
You have 2.
Oh, listen, I had them on 3-way last week. Sure did.
Both.
But all hands on deck, okay? Wonder Twins, activate.
Wonder Twins, activate. Mm-hmm. He knows. He's one of us.
Wait. Okay, he's one of us. He's one of us. Comedy. Is this something you always, because, okay, the comedy show that Van is doing, what is it? It's for people who think they're funny? Is that what it was for?
Oh, no.
I'm really not trying to be funny. I can't. It's something like.
Oh, no.
Man, help me out.
The people that think that they're funny.
Jade, what is it? It's not traditional comedians. It's people that are funny in different spaces. Man, I'm so excited for your show.
I don't even know that it's for people who are funny. It's for people who are sort of influencer, celebrity adjacent.
Funny.
Yeah, it's like
they're
me
funny.
and everybody.
You're funny.
Whatever. No, you don't think that. You just told everybody what you thought, and that's okay as well. Can we get back to the...
For you, have you always wanted to do comedy? Because I want to see you on Broadway too.
So my parents took me to go see The Nutty Professor when I was a kid in theaters. They also took me to go see The Mask in theaters at 6 years old. Mm-hmm. So there's always been an element of comedy within all of the things. I've always loved making people laugh. So now I've gotten a hold of what that looks like, the format, what beats are. So yeah, I got to condense my space. 'Cause I did 2 test runs of my.
How'd it go?
So the first one I did an hour.
See?
Wow.
I was telling you it's kind of hard to.
I did an hour, and then I did the belly room 2 days later.
Oh, you did this. Oh, you were up on sale. You've done stand.
No,
yeah.
Well, I just did this last week. These were test runs. Mm-hmm. And they let me go like an additional 20 minutes. So I did like an hour and 20 minutes at the belly room. And I think maybe 10% of it was singing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, it was. And I went off script a few times. I was like, oh my goodness, I'm on a roll.
Yeah, you just fucking vibing.
Yeah.
I wanna ask you controversial questions.
Okay.
But actually, I'm not gonna ask you controversial questions. I'm just gonna throw out the names of controversial people, and I just want your automatic response.
Okay.
Kanye West.
Ooh. Great meds, beautiful meds. We want the meds to be in place. We love, I love my brother. He just needs some assistance.
Mm-hmm. Nicki Minaj.
I'm gonna pass on that.
Okay. Very smart. Chris Brown.
Autumn Leaves is probably my favorite song off the X album.
Mm-hmm. Great. Boy, this nigga know what he doing. Last one. Controversial person now. Brand new addition to the controversial persons list. Klay Thompson.
So first of all,
Set him up. Set him up.
I was at the bar, and I happened to see him there. And this was before all this happened, of course.
Dr. King now.
And I said to his face, of course he was looking down because I'm much shorter than him. I said, "Thank you, sir, for making our girl happy. We love to see it." I said that to his face. I take it back. All back. Hope you stub your toe. Every last one of them. Stressing that woman out. She got a show to do. She got a swimsuit line to release. She ain't got time for this shit.
I wish they would leave Meg alone.
My girl needs a break. Seriously.
She does.
Yeah.
She does. Well said,
Yeah.
Thrayer.
And also, I would just like to say this too.
Oh, here we go.
I had a psst moment. Yes, that's calling in. When I call you and I said, "Hey, this is a step into my office conversation."
Yeah.
I had to call Deontay Kyle. I had to call my brother.
Our
What'd he
brother.
say?
We ate gumbo with him at my mama
What
cooked
did he
gumbo.
say?
He had something to say about Beyonce.
Oh.
And so my thing is, sir, listen here.
What did he say, first of all?
He said something about I don't really listen to the music like that or something like that. I don't know, some dumb shit.
Okay.
Just so I said, listen here. I said, at the first and foremost, at this time in your career, not just what's on your body, but your words got some weight to them.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to be mindful of what you say because people are listening to that. You have been a safe space for black women, so we do not need to compromise that. And niggas have dropped the ball. The ball has not, you know what? The ball is a frisbee.
So wait.
Hold on, I'm not done.
Okay.
The ball is a frisbee. Drop the ball. The ball is non-existent. So, if there's anything that is coming out of our mouths as black men, specifically, I'm talking about us.
Okay.
There's anything coming out of our mouths towards a black woman, it needs to be lifting her up.
Thank you.
Period.
Thank you.
Full stop.
Okay.
Lifting them up. They are going through enough right now. Them two ladies just got murdered.
Mm-hmm.
And niggas is up here sending GoFundMe's to these niggas that murdered them. What is wrong with y'all?
Nah, it's not going to be accepted.
So anything that comes out of our mouth towards black women, it needs to be lifting y'all up.
Come on.
Period.
Right.
Thank you.
Which is why on this show, I try to always...
Don't try, just do.
Just listen.
That's how you know right there.
No. I try to always hold space for Candace Owens.
Yeah.
On the show because you said lift up black women, so I decided to I'll try to always hold space for Candace Owens.
Walked right into that one. My God, today.
So always try to hold space for her. Deontay, we love you. What did he say? Did he say he don't like the music?
It said something. I got to go back and watch it, but it was just
That's
something.
bold.
But it got the reaction of people that felt like, nah, bro, you that was not necessary.
Word. Like if somebody, let's say that someone didn't like, say, Anita Baker. What would your thought on that would be?
Well, my thing is, how are you? Is it because? Okay, so is your dislike for Anita Baker because you don't like, her voice, or is it because you were traumatized every weekend with her music to clean the house?
Durand, they said I have a dirty house.
I'm just saying. Are you traumatized by Auntie?
I wish that was the reason.
God damn it! What that man say? God damn!
Oh my gosh, Durand.
Come on, snort.
Wait, should we do one of these really quick?
Yeah, sure.
Just do
What is
quick.
that?
We'll just pick one.
Oh, me? Okay.
Pick one.
We're picking, for people that are listening, we're picking from cards. And the cards,
hold on.
I guess, have questions. What's the name of this game? Hello.
It's called Awkward.
Hella awkward.
Yeah.
We love this. Durand brought this for us to play.
We shout out the person that made this game.
Let me see. Okay.
I thought you were supposed to blindly pick, but go ahead.
Oh, blindly?
No, go ahead. You found your card.
No, I was just gonna say because you said you want to ask a spicy question, right?
Yes, we do want spicy.
Britt and Brandon, and they created Hella Awkward. It looks like it's a black man, a black woman,
Amazing,
and an Asian lady. They've created this together. I was trying to give them a shout out to the game. It's a black AAPI owned company.
How do you feel about sucking toes?
Me
Yes.
about
Have
sucking
you?
toes. I don't like to waste any part of the woman.
I know that's right.
Wow.
Iba robo-bobo-shiki.
I don't like to waste any part of the woman. So it's about whatever.
Yes.
It's not my go-to, but if I really like you and that's what you like, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, so the sucking toes in your world is for
It could be both.
the
It could be both.
Do you
toe
take care of
suckers.
your feet in a fashionable way for your toes to be sucked?
I take care of my feet, but one foot is a lost cause. So if I took off my shoes right now, this foot, it looks great. This foot is slightly bigger than this foot. So because this foot is slightly bigger than this foot, like this is completely a lost cause. I've tried everything.
Oh.
So like I'll
Try another. Get some juice.
Yeah.
Get some else.
Okay. Now I'm doing what you were doing. Okay, wait.
you guys are not
The
playing
ones in the
game enough.
beginning are the ones that are spicy. You'll
Okay,
see on
let
the
me
top.
just-
You'll see on the top. It has the titles of what the
This is
subject
not
matter is.
this is not what Britt and Brandon. I
Okay.
think Britt and Brandon are sister and brother.
Have you ever had a hoe phase or a player phase, and did you enjoy it?
Well, first and foremost,
Are you still in it?
I was about to say so you know that HO is an acronym for happiness over everything. So I'm always in a constant state of HO. Okay. Always in a constant state of happiness over everything.
I love that.
Yeah, I reject the question. Because like this
We can try
question,
again.
so shout out
We
to
can
Britt
try
and Brandon,
again.
and they're friend, but like the whole phase is like looking down. Like I'll reject the question.
Well, if you look at it in a negative way, I quite thoroughly enjoyed mine.
I don't even think
When was your whole phase?
That wasn't part of the question.
Yeah.
It was not.
Tough.
She said too loud and too specific.
I'll pick one.
Yeah.
All right. So the cards are color coded.
Yeah.
And
color
so
coded
there's
questions.
Oh, I like this. This one right here.
Okay.
Picked a good one. Butt injections, yes or no? What about other plastic surgery situations, cosmetic plastic surgeries? Are you into them?
I've had surgery. I've had cosmetic surgery.
As have I.
Oh yeah. Did it like
Not a BBL.
you? Not a BBL.
Not a BBL.
As have I.
You know, I wanted to get my knees done,
Your knees
What
done.
would that entail?
adding a little height. However, I think I might be good at where I'm at. You know, because see, if I was his height and somebody broke in the house, they would find me. But if I'm this height, I can be behind the good china or in the dryer. Amen.
That's what you thought about.
You thought about having the height surgery?
Yeah, but then I saw a guy that actually got it done, and it's like, baby, he can only tiptoe, okay? Because if he runs, oh baby, it's giving. What's that movie, Glass?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Does he have to
Great
wear?
movie.
Can he show his legs off?
I
So,
don't know,
I can be
but
honest
he
with
should have got his
That's
arms
interesting.
too. Because if you're gonna lengthen, like
That's the thing.
it's uneven. I said, oh, that's too much. That's
That's
too
the
much
thing.
work.
I tell you
Think
though.
about that.
I
Just
tell you
put
though
the soles in your shoes.
about this surgery. They're getting damn close to have perfected that surgery. That surgery is becoming something that a lot of people are doing all the time. The first
Really?
Yeah. The first people that did it, it was obviously it's a just gruesome surgery, right? It's like a gruesome surgery. But now I've actually met people who have had it. They're pretty good. They've come pretty close to perfecting that surgery and making that something that's viable to a lot of people.
Now I will say I'm gonna go to Turkey and I'm gonna get Otis together. Like I'm
He
getting
did
this
it.
done.
I did
He
it.
did it.
This right here. How
He
was
did it here.
Ziering Medical is where you should go. Right up here in
How many
Beverly Hills.
how many grafts?
I think it was like 1,500 or something like that. I'm going back.
You got the whole you got
No,
your
no.
whole cranium?
No. So I actually can't remember how many grafts. I just wanted the hairline back. Not even crazy.
Yeah. I just need this right here, just in these corners.
Got to go up to Ziering Medical. It's better than turkey, okay? And let me tell you something else. If you go to Zering Medical, they got a little thing that they do there, okay? Because when you go there, you're in a consultation, they show you other people have had it. And you're like, God damn, right? If you become one of the people that they let, which would be hilarious, it'd be like, look how good Durand's hair look, then you could like get it cheaper and stuff like that. But right up there, I watched Netflix all day. They did the whole thing. It was easy peasy. I came back. It was fine.
Did they numb you? Because
that's the only painful part.
Yeah, that was saying.
The only painful part is because like the hair part, you don't feel any of that.
Yeah.
But they got to numb you back here to take the individual strands out, and then they got to numb you up here to put them in.
Yeah.
And then like that's the only part. The numbing is the most painful part.
Gotcha.
He said that they were like, "Does Rachel want to come?"
Yeah,
Didn't
they
you
said
say
that. They said they want to. It's like they want to bring it down.
My forehead.
Yeah, the forehead situation.
Forehead reduction.
I tell you what, though. You know what? I'm going back.
Well, I didn't say I was going. That forehead reduction is a totally different thing. Is that what they do there? That is what they do, right?
Well, you know, Timberland got the one that come all the way down here.
That's
he got the bang. I said too far. You went too far.
That's what I'm scared of.
Come back up.
You can't take it back. You can't. I like my big forehead. I
Gotta
like my
find
big
your
forehead.
way back. Please.
Hey, when is the one man show coming? I know people didn't ask you about this before. When is the one man show coming? When is like the one man show that, because you talked about the comedy and you talked about the fact that you did sing, but is all you on the stage the one that the show wins a bunch of Tonys that leads to the movies that leads to the entire EGOT situation?
I don't even know. I got to finish the book first.
It comes from the book. That's what I was going to say.
I got to finish the book first.
Okay.
Like, I think once I at least get all of that, get every detail of my life that I possibly can. I also need my parents to kind of chime in on some of that because I would like them to kind of narrate parts of their chapters, their own chapters, to kind of give perspective of our relationship at certain times. So yeah.
Last question for me. How are you going to make your season last? How's your season going to become a lifetime? How's your season going to become an era? How is this the beginning of what you do? And it doesn't flame out in 4 or 5 years or whatever. It took you way longer than that to get here.
I was about to say, this is the same fire that got started 21 years ago. It just has more, you can just see it now. But the fire has always been there. You can just see it from a greater distance. So it's been like, it's, as Dr. Wilson so eloquently said, of course you're a slow burn, dear. You're the sun, not a match.
Oh, that's one of your therapists?
No, that's
I thought
that's one of my good Judies.
Okay, I was like, well, let me sign up with them.
Dr. Wilson has a PhD. I got my Grammy. Like we are, we up here in our field.
Accolades.
Tell everybody album, when it's coming out, everything you want them to know about that. I mean, you have so many of, and anything else you want to let them know about.
Yes. So I have my 4th studio album coming out on May 1st, titled Bernarr. Period. Cannot forget the period. Not to be confused with Bernard.
Oh.
But B-E-R-A-N-A. Aura.
I wonder where homie is right now.
He's not with us anymore.
Are you serious?
He literally did not even make it to see the success of that movie.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I literally just spoke about Corwin. Yeah. What I would not have given to just sit down with him and talk about life. Yeah.
Damn.
And I will be hitting the road. Dates coming soon. Again, I am the mayor of Black Threads. This is not a government, but more of a conglomerate of us, of the collective of the people coming together to just exchange resources and figure out ways that we can have a little less stress in our bodies and laugh a little more.
We need it. Yes, yes. Thank you so much for being here. And congratulations on everything.
Thank you.
So well deserved.
Thank you.
All right, brother. Keep up, man. Okay, I'm going to make a fool out of myself a week from today, and this person right here is the reason why. This is Aida Rodriguez, stand-up comic, like political commentator with the Young Turks. I've seen you like so many different places.
Aida,
excuse me. I say Aida. Can I call you Aida though?
No.
Why not?
Because that's not her name.
Can I be honest with you? I'm having a problem with names.
Why?
Jamila was here. I've always called her Jamila. I'm being like my dad now.
Oh,
I have a problem with names though.
My dad used to do that.
But that doesn't mean you get to call them what you want. You wouldn't want people to call you Vaughn.
I would get used to it. So we did Francesca's live show.
Mm-hmm.
It was very fun.
It was fun.
It was a bunch of lefties in the room. We were having a fun time.
Fun.
And then after that, you asked me to do a stand-up set at Netflix as a joke.
Yep.
But it's like, these are like people that are not commonly stand-ups that are going to be doing it.
Yeah, so one of the biggest complaints that we are getting about the Netflix is a joke, and I'll say we, like I'm part of the corporation.
You're part of big comedy.
No, but is that there are like a lot of celebrities hosting comedy shows with the comedians on there, like Lizzo's doing a show. And so I said, well, like, if celebrity is going to exploit comedy, let me exploit celebrity.
Wow.
So I was like, I'm going to do a celebrity open mic. You, Eric Benet, Macy Gray, Lisa Vidal, like a bunch of actors are going to come in and performers and do stand-up, because I think everybody thinks they can do stand-up because they're funny to their friends. That's because you respect it, right? But everybody thinks they can do stand-up.
Right.
And I just respect you guys for honoring the craft, because you have such respect for it that you're scared of it.
Yeah.
But some people don't.
I'm nervous, but I didn't think, I just want to let people know, I didn't think that I could do it. So you set me up, you lined me up.
Yeah, I did.
I will
this
be
is tough.
front row. I am thrilled about this. I'm going to be just like this the whole time. But I actually think you're funny. I'm excited for you to do this. And I feel like he's scared, but curious at the same time. I think you're a little nervous, but I think you're excited about it.
Yeah, I don't know how to keep it short. You said we only have 3 minutes.
But you're the only person on the lineup that has been like, it has to be 3 minutes. Everybody else is like 3 minutes and 3 minutes only. You're the only person, and it's because you are bold. You always talking. So
So if he goes over 3 minutes, what happens? Can I throw stuff at? Oh,
but I'm definitely going over 3 minutes.
You can throw stuff at him.
Yeah.
Anyway. No. You said you're gonna do more than 3. I think people underestimate how long 3 minutes. How long the 3 minutes are.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Not on this podcast. He can go on and on and on. He's a storyteller.
But you're going to the Laugh Factory, which is a comedy club, and people are expecting you to be funny. And I think it's just a great lesson for a lot of people who just think, hey, I make all my friends think I'm funny. I'm like, yeah, you guys all think alike.
I'm actually shocked that people think that this must be people who've never been to a comedy show, because I thoroughly enjoy going to comedy shows, and I'm always in awe, one, at the courage that it takes to get on stage, and then to be able to memorize what it is that you're saying and stay in it, whether there's heckling, especially when I see people do crowd work. I'm just so impressed by it. I don't understand why people would think that is the job that they could do in entertainment. I think it's one of the hardest things.
But first of all, thank you. I appreciate that, because we don't get that level of respect. Like comedians are the blue collar workers of the entertainment business. We don't have a union. There's no regulation. Somebody can pay me $1,500 for a gig, and then somebody else will call me and say, hey, I got $75 for you so you can come 45 minutes away and do 15 minutes of stand-up. There's no regulation. There's no respect for the craft. And so I think that because it's become such a profitable business, you have people that are not good at stand-up. I think people don't realize the difference between, first, there are two audiences. There's the comedy connoisseur and then the pop culture enthusiast. And the pop culture enthusiasts have ruined the craft of comedy because they consume it like McDonald's. They get everything off the internet. This is what comedy is to you. But then there are the people, I mean, you can ask 20 people who their favorite comedians are, and I guarantee you that a great percentage of that 20 is going to say Richard Pryor. And he's been gone how long? Because he was a craftsman, and he was one of the greatest, and I would say the greatest. But that's because he's a real stand-up comedian, and people still quote the jokes. And then some people are just getting laughed at for an hour. They just go up and they do ridiculousness for an hour, and then there's a whole cheering section, like Gladiator, because they like to see, things crash and burn. And it's not comedy. It's not stand-up comedy.
What did you mean when you said, I thought this was very interesting. You said, of course your friends think you're funny. You guys all think alike.
Absolutely.
That's profound to me because in my friend group, we all make each other laugh because these jokes we have in common are based upon all these other things that we have in common. But comedians can't do that. They have to make things relatable to people who live a completely different style of life and think differently than them. That seems impossible. I'm going to fail.
I mean, no, you're not. You're not. But if you think about like somebody like Richard Pryor, Moms Mabley, they had to, think about the people who had to walk in through the back that couldn't walk in through the front door, that would get on a stage and make all these white people who didn't even see them as full human beings laugh. All come together in one thought and laughter, because that's brilliance. And you want to demean that by saying that it's not that hard. Anybody can make anybody laugh. No. When I went to Omaha 2 weeks ago, there was very few people in that audience that had a similar experience to me. I had never been to Nebraska before. That was my first time. And to hear them laugh at my jokes, the way that I think, my point of view, felt like a real accomplishment, because I guarantee you that a great percentage of those people voted against the majority of the things that, declare me a full human being.
Yeah.
And I still made them laugh. Now, I'm not patting myself on the back for that, but I do want people to understand that being a stand-up comedian is not making the people who think like you laugh. It's being able to make a bunch of people that come from different places all join together in laughter at what you're thinking. And that's, to me, is brilliance.
See, this is what I'm talking about. That's why you're like the blue collar worker of, you have to be smart. You're to write. You have to have good public speaking. You have to have timing. There's just so many things that you have to be a comedian that it just makes no sense to me that you shouldn't be the blue collar workers. But
I appreciate that.
Netflix is a joke.
Yes.
Explain that, because I feel like, first off, when did that start?
So I'm not sure. It started.
It's been around for
years
some
ago.
time.
It's been around, but because it's on and off. It's like 1 year
Okay.
on, 1 year off. So they didn't do it last year. They did it the year before. And it will only make sense to have a festival in Los Angeles.
So it's considered a festival.
Yeah, it's a comedy festival.
How long does it go? I know it's like at different places,
For a week.
variety of things. Like I've been to certain things where people might be shooting something for Netflix or, gosh, what's his name? Did the thing at the Hollywood Bowl where he
Chappelle?
No, where he raised. I didn't get to go to that. He raised. Oh my gosh, he does the show on Apple. Why can I not?
Talking about Seth Rogen?
Thank you. He did a special. He did. Couldn't think of his name. Sorry. Did a special and was raising money for his charity. So there's like a variety of things. If you could tell our audience a little bit about like what it is.
It's a festival that has a whole bunch. I have ADHD, so when I
do
didn't mean
too.
to cut you off.
No. I do too.
I will lose
I
my
took my
mind.
pill late. It hasn't kicked in yet.
Me too. I just took it with coffee. Let's see how that works.
With coffee?
Yes.
I do mine.
Nigga, you going crazy.
Sometimes
Hold
you
on,
have
wait a
to.
minute.
I've done that before too.
I do the Concerta. I'm on a Concerta right now too. If I take the fucking Concerta and then drink coffee, I start seeing sounds in this motherfucker.
All right. What is it, Pharrell?
Yeah, no, I'm serious. Like I can't do it with coffee anymore.
Well, the coffee works the opposite for me because I have ADHD. It calms me down a little bit.
I tell people this. It's like drinking a warm bottle.
Yes.
This is what I say. Yes,
Yeah,
it is a form of it. Thank
It is
you.
it.
I feel seen.
So it's a festival, and they have all these comedy shows and different ranges of comedians depending on different levels. Some people are doing smaller cafes. Some people do the Hollywood Bowl. And it's just a festival celebrating comedy and bringing all the shows at one time to the city. And people here come here to watch comedy who really, like the comedy buffs, they really come out because they know they're going to get comedians.
We talked a little bit about Netflix joke, comedy, and stuff like that. What's the biggest issue right now in stand-up comedy to you?
The bastardization of stand-up. I think that crowd work is a tool that we use in stand-up, right? Usually at the top of the show. It's become this thing that, because it includes the audience, but what that does is it fosters an environment of people who don't know how to behave at a comedy show. So they'll come just, to participate in crowd work because they want to be in a video. And it's just a tool. It's not supposed to be your whole hour. Like people pay money for that. They have a 2-item minimum at most clubs. They pay for parking, babysitters. They work all week. They come there. They want to escape. And now you asking them to do your work. There's a comedian who just did this whole rant about that, which I was like, this is brilliant. So I think one of the harder things is what the internet has done to stand up.
But if the audience likes that, and if the audience wants to participate in that, then I guess the question would be like, what's the problem with it? Is it just, are we talking about a purity issue, or are we talking about an issue, like what is the actual problem with it if the audience likes being involved with the show?
Because that's not a real stand-up comedy audience, like the stand-up purists, the comedy connoisseurs who want to come watch the show, they get irritated because they paid for that, and now you talking, you jumping. If it was contained, if y'all just did y'all crowd work comedy shows over there, right? And I know they're going to come for me, but I don't care because I respect the craft of comedy. I respect the people that came before me. I honor the people who, put in the work, even the ones who are not famous. Like, I know there are people that are maintain the assembly line of comedy throughout the weeks that you don't know when Kevin Hart doesn't come to the show. There are comedians that are working every week right now all over the country, putting in the work to make people laugh who don't have 2 million followers on Instagram. And I have to have respect for those people because that's my comedy family. I think what happens is if you're going to do that and those people just stayed within that world, it's fine. But then they come to our comedy shows, those of us who have prepared hours of stand-up, and now they're yelling out at us, and now we got to maintain this situation. We have to calm people down. We have to train them that you don't yell out at comedy shows. Everybody doesn't want to do that, and I'm all for everybody who does it, if that's what you want to do. I know that Nate Jackson has material. I know that Matt Rife has material because a lot of people didn't know Matt before he started doing crowd work. Matt's been doing stand-up since he was 16, and he was solid. That's why he kept moving up. People don't know, but now sometimes you'll go to a Matt Rife show. Like, I've done shows with him at the Laugh Factory, and it looks like a Justin Bieber concert and it's a whole bunch of little girls who have a crush on him, but don't know how to be quiet at a comedy show because they don't know that that's a comedy show. Yeah. To them, it's just a show.
Yeah. In the entertainment industry, we see, and we're going to talk to somebody else about this too, just in different genres, I guess, with music, talk about comedy, you see that people get rewarded for going viral or being popular. Van asked you about issues. Are you fearful of just the art of comedy because of social media or because of what might be rewarded by a network or a corporation?
It's interesting. There's a balance there because some people who would, especially people of color, Black women, brown women, women of color, queer people who would never get the opportunities because they wouldn't get booked. If they have some solid stand-up and they go viral and they have an opportunity to really, like, I look at Josh Johnson. Josh opened for me at Jokes and Notes on the south side of Chicago. And now he is surpassed, all of us. But I think he's a good comic. He's so smart and he's doing something specific that comedy needs because he's taking our current issues and he's feeding it to the masses in a way that they can digest. And I think that's brilliant. But I think that, listen, the people who are funny on the internet, that's an art form unto itself. I don't know how to do those comedy skits and edit them perfectly. I respect that, but I just ask that you do the same and respect our craft because when I did my first special, that was like 10 years of work that went into 1 hour of comedy that I felt was ready to give to the world. And so I think that it's important to respect people's craft, and we have to fight for art in this time where capitalism has gotten so toxic that it's just for consumption, and it's not helping the arts. And the arts is how we get through some of these tough times.
Do you feel your politics isolating you from some of what's happening in comedy right now? The whole Austin thing, the mothership, the Rogan sphere of comedy. All of those guys are really, really fighting to move comedy sort of to the political right, be as white and male as they possibly can. And we're coming here with women and trans people and the R word and the N word, any word that has a letter in front of it, they want to use it. So, like, do you feel like for you right now, because I know you're a big lefty like me, that's why we were up there with Francesca, shout out to her, is your political viewpoint making you an outlier in comedy and endangering you in the space?
I mean, I've been endangered in this space since I stepped into it because I'm a woman of color. I'm a brown woman. I'm a Puerto Rican, Dominican woman that does stand up, and I don't, the comedy that they expect from me is not the comedy that I give them. So, but the thing is, the framing that they're trying to move it back to or move it to the right is, I just think it's dangerous because it has always been there. Comedy started as a white man's, one-liner. That's what late night was, which is why they don't really have us or really push for us to be on these late night shows, because we're telling the stories that are very different. Many of us are storytellers. So I think that we've always been here. Like, this is the reality that this is taking a turn for the worse. When I started doing stand-up, if I was on a show, I was going to be the only woman on the show. Mm-hmm. There was never, and it's like if they have a queer person, then that's the diversity on the show. If there's a Black person, that's the diversity on the show. The fact that we are seeing, remnants of that, not even remnants, we're seeing it, it's becoming so popular again. It's what it's always been. And the idea that they're coming for us, they've always come for us. This isn't new to us. Like, you're gonna tell me Samora shouldn't be a household name and she is to a lot of people, but she shouldn't have to produce her own specials. And I respect that because she's self-made and she creates her own stuff and she owns it. And there's a lot of power and ownership. Denzel Washington is our hero for telling us that. Mm-hmm. But I just think that, like, when you think about this idea that when you look at all of the stuff and you see I'm you know how many people cry in my comedy shows because I'm the first person that looks or sounds like them to ever tell our story. Mm-hmm. There's like me and Gina Brion, which are like the only Puerto Ricans that are really like headlining nationally or whatever. And if there's anybody else, you can leave it in the comment section. This is not a diss, this is just what I know. But the truth is that it's always been this way. And for us to pretend like they're trying to move it back, they've always said those words. They never stopped. And they pouted because they had to publicly stop saying it. But they were saying it at these comedy clubs. And a lot of Black and brown people stood and are complicit in it. They watch it, they laugh it off. They think it's funny to get patted on the head. And now that we're suffering the consequences and we're seeing how dangerous that can be, now we're like, oh my goodness. But they've always done this. They've always done it.
Patted on the head is hilarious. What excites you about comedy now and even the future of comedy?
The internet has brought people to light that were normally not seen on a national level, and to see the brilliance of, new faces and some of the older faces that created the way for us. Mm-hmm. That now that people, like, I'll look at Samora's comments sometimes and I'll see these young women saying, oh my God, like, I love her. Like, it's really funny to see George Carlin trend on TikTok and people and the kids are like, who this man got, and I'm like, y'all don't even know who that is. But it's fun to see that sometimes the right people are getting the exposure that they need, It's interesting to see women, being able to be sexual, because like I remember when I started doing stand-up, all of my comedy mentors and I have some pretty big mentors, don't be like all the women and talk about sex and blah, blah, blah. All of the, women being suppressed because the men are always talking about sex and nobody ever says anything. And it's all stock jokes. They all saying the same jokes. If I hear one more time about how women act when they get drunk and they're out in the club from another man, but, to see women now feeling liberated to speak about whatever they want to speak, people knowing who Marsha Warfield is now, who's like a goat to me and a hero, and I adore her. Night Court. Yes, but also a brilliant stand-up, like political, social issues, queer woman, proud, and just to see people now following her and saying, oh my God, I love this lady. And I'm like, I've loved her my whole life. So welcome,
I thank my mom for that, because like I remember my mother used to always make me dive deeper. Like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure came out, and George Carlin was Rufus. And my mother would go, that's Rufus right there. Like, Rufus is George Carlin. Like George Carlin is Rufus. I'd be like, what the fuck? Who? Like, I would never say that to her, obviously. But I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, that guy is like a brilliant stand-up comic. And at that point, the only stand-up comics I knew, Pryor, Murphy, like even like Red Fox, I learned about him as a stand-up way after. Bill Cosby, learned about him as a stand-up like way after. I wasn't like, you see him on the Cosby Show and then you realize they do comedy. But my mom would always say that. She'd say that about Marsha Warfield. She'd be like, the lady's like, you see her on the show, but she's like a comic. Then that's why she's really, really, really funny. But it wasn't as easy to just like pull it up just then. Just kind of had to wait for it. Last question for me. Why did you do this to me? Why? Why did this happen?
You know what? I think there's a lot of stuff that you can get away with through a joke. I saw something with you on CNN, and of course it went viral because you went straight ether on somebody on CNN, and I was like, that's a comedic point of view. Like some people have that comedic rhythm and some people don't. And just like Chris Spencer saw it in me and was like, I need you to go do an open mic because this is what I know a comic when I see one. I just think that it'd be interesting to hear your take because you always funny anyway. Even when you going in on these people and you're talking about politics, it's still funny. And I think sometimes the information lands when it's funny because people can digest it better than when they're being chastised, you know?
That's what Cheeto always says.
Oh, he tells you you're funny?
No. He says, be funnier. Cheeto always goes, hey, be funny when you say this stuff. Make sure that you're funny. He's like, it's the comedy, like, lets it digest into people's minds. So he always says.
Yeah, no. I mean, how many people quote the GOAT? To me, my favorite person in comedy will always be Eddie Murphy. They say never meet your heroes. I met Eddie Murphy and fell in love all over and over again. But being a Puerto Rican girl from the hood in Miami and in New York, hearing somebody say what we would want McDonald's or we wanted to eat out, and my mom would be like, I got your McDonald's. And she would make the burger. It was so relatable. And, I think that when comedy just lands in a way, it's such a beautiful thing to hear people's laughter and to understand the impact you can have on some people. I've had people come up to me after a show and say, I never thought about it that way. Thank you for that. You open up people's minds because you're disarming them. You're supposed to. Some of us don't do that, but I think it's just important to be able to have different ways of getting information to people. And look at Cat Williams and his Insurgents.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
His Insurgents. All right, we'll see what happens.
Where can anyone follow you, support you? When is this? Because we're never going to get the information from
Van.
You got to tell me.
It's a week from today. It's Monday.
Look at he's been sleeping
4th.
thinking about it.
Where?
May 4th at 7:00 at the Laugh Factory.
Do we have to buy tickets? We have to wait in line?
FunnyAida.com, FunnyAida.com. You can go to the Netflix is a Joke page and get your tickets. And listen, if you want to see Van, DM me. I will create a Van section at the Laugh Factory, just his own cheering or booing section, whatever it is that you need. Just DM me and I will make sure you are seated in that section. And I will also take bids.
Well, thank you. We'll see how it goes. I'm incredibly nervous.
I'm very excited for you. But like not in a trolling way. Like I'm genuinely excited for you. I think this is a really cool thing. I couldn't do it.
But I'll tell you what Chris Rock told me. I saw Chris Rock one time at the he wasn't at Chocolate Sundays. He was at the Laugh Factory and he was pacing. And ADHD and anxiety are twins. Yes. I'm like, what's going on? I said, are you nervous? He said, yes. And he said, and when you stop being nervous, quit.
Oh, wow.
So nervous is good.
All right. Okay. Well, Aida Rodriguez, when I fuck it up, just is right here.
There is
Thank you for joining us. We'll see you Monday. All right. Real quick, Stephen A. Smith. All right, we have to go 5 minutes. Stephen A. Smith was on First Take, and he was with Chanae. Did you see this?
Yeah.
We're gonna do a higher learning outreach program right now, but before we get into this, Donnie, I'm gonna introduce this segment. We're gonna show you the compliment that Stephen A. Smith gave to Chanae on the air. Okay, gave to her on the air. Donnie.
Bonjour, Stephen A. Je m'appelle Chanae. Et Rudy Gobert, il est magnifique. il est magnifique. He has been phenomenal. Rudy Gobert's defense, he's been magnificent. I hope I did all the French people proud there with my pronunciation. I'm more of a Spanish girl.
You did. You did me proud.
Girl.
You did me.
Okay,
you
good.
did me proud. You did me proud.
Yes,
I'm here to tell
I'm an
you.
Igbo girl, but I pivoted a little bit because Rudy Gobert, il est magnifique. He's been fantastic.
I have to. I got to get a little personal here first for a second here, Shay and Chanae. I mean, listen. I'm living a good life. I'm pretty damn happy, to say the least. But I must admit, in all my years on this earth, I've never dated a woman from France or anything like that. But after hearing Chanae, I was like, what have I been missing? What have I been missing? I mean, that language, that verbiage right there, that kind of turned me on. Anyway, let me get back to the focus at hand.
Sexy daddy. Okay. Real quick. Appropriate, yes or no?
Nah.
You don't think it's appropriate?
No. I know he's trying to be funny, but nah, I didn't land.
You didn't like it?
It teetered on the line.
Is it appropriate to compliment your coworkers?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I think that it is as well. I think it's appropriate to compliment your coworkers, which is why here on Higher Learning, we want to show you guys how you can compliment your coworkers in a way that is appropriate and not like they turn you on and stuff like that.
Right.
Would you like to start? You want to start?
Oh, I can go first.
Start, yeah.
Okay. Van, I really like the shirt that you're wearing today.
Wow.
Your middies aren't visible, and it's loose enough to where the arm doesn't clap against the body.
Thank you, Rachel.
You're welcome.
You can't see my breast today. I appreciate that. Rachel, your forehead looks nice today. Okay. The hat is not, it's not prominent. It's not you having a good forehead day today.
Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
You're welcome,
Thank
Rachel.
you. Look at us.
Mm-hmm.
I got another one for you.
Sure.
Van, you kept your rants today to under 15 minutes.
Wow.
And I appreciate you for that. Making space for more of us in the podcast today.
I'm working. I'm on concern.
Very concise. That's concise for you.
Appreciate you. Rachel, you were only 10 minutes late today. Oh. And hold on. And you called and let us know.
I did today.
She did today. It was fantastic.
I'm so glad you appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, one more. Van, you only interrupted me every other sentence today, and that makes me feel seen.
Wow. Rachel, you've been hyper understanding to Black men today. Okay. And I would like to let you know that I feel seen. See how easy that is, guys? Take your think caps off, but do not stop learning. I am Van Lathan Jr.
I am Rachel Lynn Lindsay, and I see you, Black man. I do. Today and every day. Bye, guys.